Welcome to the tutorial on using online polls and surveys as journalistic tools. This tutorial will discuss the relevancy of polls and surveys to a journalist's work. It will also describe how you can effectively use these social media platforms in your professional endeavors. Internet polls and surveys are extremely helpful tools for journalists to utilize. Obviously, they can be created and used to gather data from your audience and social media connections. Whether you're trying to get some data for a report you're working on, or just some opinions on people's interests and perspectives, these tools can be useful. As a result, that will give you insight into your audience's opinions and ideas, which will help you to crowdsource important information for your stories. One huge advantage to the online polls and surveys is how easily they can be disseminated and how simply your audience can view them. The ease of use makes it incredibly likely that people will actually fill out your survey. Although a random survey or poll that does not reach a broad range of people will not be considered scientific, it can still give you helpful anecdotal data about a subject that can guide your decisions as a journalist. Polls and surveys are extremely similar. Polls are just short surveys. Polls are limited to one question that is in multiple choice format. In contrast, surveys are two or more questions that are in any format. Each device has its own purpose. Polls are great for quick responses from your audience relating to a single issue. However, surveys can give you very detailed information about your audience, especially since you can use fill-in-the-blank answer formats that allow people to write in their own responses. Nowadays, it's extremely easy for people to use free online tools to create polls and surveys of their own. There are multiple websites that allow you to create surveys that have all sorts of different colors and styles for background images as well as for the text of your survey. Plus, you can have lots of choices of answer formats, such as multiple choice questions, fill-in-the-blank questions, matrices, rankings, checkboxes, etc. In addition, you can write a short introductory message explaining the purpose of your survey, as well as a short concluding message thanking people for their participation. Most importantly, though, you can receive a free analysis of your results broken down question by question so that you can see what people's responses are and what portion of your respondents submitted a particular answer. And, of course, the ability to disseminate your survey easily is very important. Most free online survey services will let you embed your surveys into websites and social media posts, or even into emails, very simply, so that you can target your ideal audience. There are three extremely popular, easy to use, and free online polling or surveying tools that I would recommend. First is PollDaddy, second is Wufoo, and third is SurveyMonkey. PollDaddy actually does a lot more than the name implies. Not only does it allow you to create polls, but it also allows you to create surveys, quizzes, and ratings where people can vote for or against things. Similarly, Wufoo is very popular because it has multiple question formats as well. Wufoo is also very user-friendly. It has a drag-and-drop format that makes putting surveys together very simple. But if that seems like too much work, then you can always choose from one of the over 300 templates Wufoo has. Additionally, Wufoo has detailed analytics reports that many people find useful for analyzing the results of their surveys, especially when the answer to one question impacts the interpretation of the answer to another question. SurveyMonkey is extremely popular as well. The real-time results SurveyMonkey gives you can be very useful if you're looking for results quickly in order to report a story or just decide quickly on an angle for your article. When you have a free SurveyMonkey account, you can see up to 100 results from your respondents. The paid accounts will allow you to see even more results than that. Like Wufoo, SurveyMonkey has a number of templates you can choose from in order to easily put together a survey that's visually appealing for your audience. Overall, polls and surveys are helpful tools for journalists to get used to creating and analyzing so that they can gather important data from the people that they report on or for. Plus, journalists can embed surveys or polls into their social media posts and their articles in order to promote online engagement with their audience. For example, posting a poll on a few different social media platforms and then writing an article that reviews the results of that poll can be a great way to motivate people to give you data and to read your work in order to see if they're in the majority with their poll response. Particularly if you center your poll on a topic that people are passionate about and that's meaningful for your audience, then you'll see a lot of engagement from your audience because people will want to share their opinions with you. With all of the survey and poll tools mentioned in this tutorial, you'll have the ability to directly email your audience the survey or embed the survey onto a website or even a social media post. It will, however, be important to make your surveys as concise as possible. Typically, people stop participating in surveys when they find out that there are more than 10 questions. As a result, limiting your survey to 10 or fewer questions is a good idea. You also want to ensure your survey questions flow logically and build upon each other. Set up your audience for success by making it clear what exactly you're asking people for and how all the questions relate. The survey itself should basically tell a story of what information you're looking for and how all the individual questions are connected. This story should unfold in a reasonable order when your audience takes that survey. I encourage you to experiment with polling and surveying platforms this month. Create polls or surveys on the subject your capstone project focuses on, analyze the data you receive from those social media platforms, and share your results with your audience so that people can see your journalistic skills. And naturally, if you need help with navigating the social media platforms, then feel free to reach out to your course director, the help center of each website, or the numerous tutorials that are posted on lynda.com, which you can access for free through FS Connect. These techniques are just some of the ways journalists can use polls and surveys to curate content and promote their work. Moving forward, try to force yourself to use these platforms for professional purposes. I believe that with time and practice, you'll get used to doing that, and it'll simply become an automatic part of your routine as a journalist. Thank you for listening, and good luck successfully using polls and surveys in the future.